Hey, if you're anything like me, time is your most valuable resource. And today we're gonna go over the exact strategy that I use to save myself hours of time each week. The goal this week is to try to get all 25 meals prepped in under 2 hours. So buckle up and sit tight as we give you a look under the hood at how we make this process happen. Here we are in the kitchen, we're just getting started. Our goal here is to cook all of our lunches and our dinners for the week, so let's see how long it takes. So the first step before we get to work is to make sure that we define a clear goal. The main goal of our meal prep routine is to save time during the weekdays before work and after work. Oftentimes we found that cooking at night and then cleaning up afterwards can take anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour and a half. For me, time at night is particularly limited. I have a long commute, then I come home and I go to the gym, and then afterwards I want to work on YouTube for a little bit, and then after all of that is done, then I make dinner, and then I have very brief time to spend time with family. Therefore, spending an hour to hour and a half a night cooking and cleaning after dinner is not something that I really want to do. So I use this meal prep routine on Sundays where I have a little bit extra time. Also, in my mornings, time is particularly tight. I have to get ready, get myself cleaned up and ready for work, and then I also have to prepare my meals for the day, and this usually includes lunch, a second breakfast, a protein shake, and then making sure I have my water and my coffee for the day as well. So that whole process takes usually about 40 minutes. So every minute that I can shave off of that is another minute that I can spend sleeping. So to make my goal specific, I want to prepare everything that I can so that I can spend less than 5 minutes each morning preparing my meal for the day. The main bulk of that time comes from preparing my second breakfast and my lunch. So if I can have both of those prepared and ready to go, then that puts me in a much better place in the morning. So once we've established a goal, now it's time to make a game plan. Our game plan starts with going to the grocery store. Once we've decided which meals we're going to have, we make a big list and we're able to go and get all of our ingredients all at once. We generally do that on Saturdays or the day before we meal prep so that we can kind of spread out the time. We tend to hit multiple grocery stores in one swoop just so we can get the cheapest things, and we find that certain brands we like from certain stores. But when it comes to meal selection, we try to keep things simple. So we usually prep about 3 meals a week, and we try to separate those out between difficulty levels. So we try to have one really simple meal that's very quick and easy to prepare, and in addition we try to have at least one crock pot meal each week, which are generally easy. You just throw a bunch of ingredients in the crock pot, let it go, and you're good to go. In order to round out the 3, we usually use a more complex recipe or something that's new or unique that kind of requires a lot of different ingredients or cutting a bunch of vegetables, that kind of thing. Using this combination keeps us from getting overwhelmed on our meal prep days. Here we are, we're about 30 minutes in. So we have our crock pot and our Instapot going over here. So we're getting ready to start some tacos. The whole process took us about probably 45 minutes or so. But for you guys who aren't filming, it should easily take around a half hour. So the simple recipe that we chose this week is beef tacos. In our house, we are obsessed with tacos. I could literally eat them every day. However, tacos also have a ton of different ways that they can be made. We frequently change seasonings and spices around just to keep things interesting, but it is something that we do on a pretty regular basis. For our crock pot meal this week, we chose to go with jambalaya. Jambalaya is one of Leah's personal favorites, and we have a couple different variations that we use just to keep things interesting. Now our third meal is an Instapot barbecue chicken with an avocado salad. As you can see, none of these recipes are particularly complicated, but they're all high protein, balanced meals. Leah and I both like to shoot for 25 to 35 grams of protein per meal, so once it's all divvied up, each of those meet that requirement. Typically, each meal that we make comes out to about 6 to 8 servings, depending on the actual amount of meat that we put in and the volume of the rest of the ingredients. Once we start the process, we like to do the things that we can fire and forget first. Having multiple different tools to cook makes things significantly easier. When actually meal prepping, we try to think about what each recipe is going to require and then adjust appropriately. For example, if we know that 2 of our meals require the oven, we oftentimes look to see if we can air fry one of the 2 options instead, just to help speed up the process. As you can see, for example, here we also had slow cooked chicken and jambalaya, which both used an Instapot and a crock pot, which we have 1 of each, so that's helpful. If you don't already have these tools, I strongly recommend that you invest in each of them. Here at our house, we have our microwave, stove, and our oven, but we also have an Instapot, an air fryer, and a crock pot. All these tools are ready to go at any point, and it helps to have multiple of them going at once just to speed up the process. If you don't have these tools, it's okay. It just might take a little bit longer when you go through the process yourself. Also keep in mind that the process will take a lot longer if you choose 3 crock pot meals throughout the week than it will if you spread them out over the course of your tools, whatever you have available. So the other thing that we're going to be doing today is prepping our mid-morning snack, which for me generally consists of a group of vegetables, and I like to pair those vegetables with Greek yogurt with a little bit of ranch mixed in. I generally prepare those in advance, so in the morning I can add my cucumber, and then it's off to the lunchbox and good to go. So we're prepping these meals so that they're available throughout the week. One of the questions that I normally get is whether or not the food stays for that period of time. So I've been doing this for the better part of about 15 years, and as long as you select the foods appropriately, you shouldn't have too much of an issue. There are certain foods that don't keep as well. For example, in my mid-morning snack, I like to have cucumbers, but cucumbers don't hold very well, so that's why I wait and put them in the morning of. But in order to speed up the process, I make sure that I have the carrots and the tomatoes ready to go in the container with the ranch and the yogurt. One of the things that also helps speed up the process is if we put a focus on washing the dishes dishes as we go. There's nothing worse than getting all your meal preps signed and sealed for the week and then looking at the sink and seeing a massive load of dishes waiting for you. Instead, if you can get them done as you go, you'll be in a much better situation when you're done. Okay, so we're all finished up. We still have the crock pot going. That'll be the last thing that we do tonight, but we have the rest of our stuff all set and ready to go. All we need to do is cap it and put it in the fridge. Our dishes have been done. Our kitchen is clean. So with just a couple extra hours of work, we made the rest of our week significantly easier. Thank you for sticking around. We were able to achieve our goal today. Meal prep can be a wonderful tool to utilize to help you along on your fitness journey. It saves me countless hours each week that I can then use to spend time with the ones that I love. So if you learned anything today, please hit the like and subscribe below, as it makes a massive difference for me. If you want the secrets to develop this yourself, next up we have a video that goes over everything that you need to know about getting started with meal prep.